Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Tiffany's Notebook. I will discuss about something that I learned from last week's lecture, and let's get started. Last week we looked at the billboard idea for the Patagonia project, and I looked at many projects from the classmates, and they were very great. And I was inspired by one of the group with the symbol of Bigfoot. I wasn't really into the Bigfoot idea that much until I saw the billboard, and it just made me realize that how easy it is to, once we have a symbol of this brand of a campaign, we can just put it anywhere in any kind of media, any type of media, that once we have the symbol, it is really easy to just keep using the symbol to keep build the brand awareness. And in this case, it can also become a long-term campaign that can save the money and the time investment for the future campaigns. And this, when I saw the Bigfoot for the billboard idea, it reminded me of the Thales. As we know, Thales is really famous at their animal campaign. So whenever we see like a ad with a animal and some element of green and purple, we by first sight we know that's an ad of Thales. Most of the time, the animal is not really, the action of the animal or the picture of the animal is not really related to their new tagline, but it's just that with the animal instead of the picture, we know that is a ad of Thales, and it's with that brand awareness that we are just keep being exposing to the Thales advertising, especially in BC. I'm not very sure if that Thales is having a very large market share in Ontario, but with that exposing and that awareness of a ad campaign, Thales is really good at building a long-term campaign with its great brand awareness. And that is something that I wanted to look more into, is it possible for us that for advertising campaign, we can create something that we can last the campaign for much longer than what we expected. And with one element of the advertising, it doesn't have to be like a physical figure like the Bigfoot or an animal. It's that with the one element that we continues to use that can actually benefit for our future campaigns and advertising, if we can think of which element it is. And also by thinking of the idea of having one element for the future campaigns, for the current and potentially the future campaigns, it also related to the sales promotion that we also learned last week that I was realizing. When we talk about the discounts for the sales promotion, we think of the price. 20% discount, buy one, get one free, stuff like that. But it was one professor, she was mentioning that sometimes she looked at something else, maybe the 30 days return period. That is what she really looks into it. And then even though the company is not providing a cash discount, but somehow it did provide something that the customer is taking more value of. And I wasn't realizing that until she mentioned it. It also reminded me that how it's important in my internship position. I was the person who was deciding the price for each customized customer. And when we put out the price for the clients, we look at we had to understand what the customer volume, what do they value, and if we can provide their volumes, so we can have the higher price. So what the customer really valued in my industry was the time, the turnaround time, and the quality and the price. So the turnaround time was a really, really large factor back in last year. So in this case, we offer the higher price for a shorter turnaround time. That's something really simple in the B2B business, that the quality versus the price. But it was my first time connecting it to a promotion strategy, is that instead of money, what more volume we can bring to the customer. So in professor's case, it's the 30 days return period. In my case, it's the money. And so this is something the marketing researchers can definitely do research on. It's like what does our customer volume and what volume can we provide instead of the money, instead of the cash discount. So this is also connecting to the STP is like by really understanding our target customer, we can have our brand better positioned. It's always about understanding the customer before making any actions or any strategy changes, and before the advertising plan. So this did remind me. So next time when I want to do some sales promotion, I would really into it that what the customer really cares, instead of just putting the cash discount. I know the cash discount is definitely the most attractive one and personally for me it is the most attractive one. But sometimes it does change for the different type of population. I know for the internship company I had, for the clients for our industry, it was the time. Time was more important than money. So maybe for my next campaign company, it could be something else. And I would like to know the difference before putting out a sales promotion. And thank you for watching this week's video. I want to keep it short and sweet, and see you next week.